This conference will now be recorded.
on Gaston just before Brown Thrush. That's where he sits, so he's got an awesome view both ways. And he says it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And also four, if I recall correctly, four semis for overweight have been stopped. I don't know if they were all his or Grafton's, or did you have any at all? No,
I did not know.
okay. But yeah, the learning process is still going on, I guess. So, you know, and the efforts that we have, I think, will pay off because there's a lot of entrances into subdivisions along Gaston Road, as you all know, and people are in a hurry. So anyway,
Is there a speed limit on that now?
it's 45 from the west coming in prior to Bluebird, I believe, is where it goes to 35, and then
Do we have a
is your-
speed board?
Huh?
out there? Do we have a speed board out there?
Two of them.
Yeah, there's
They're
one
on
that
that road.
it's notifies you for 45.
Yeah, one's 45, one's 35.
That's
just-
what we have
yeah,
out there.
it's
If they're out there, people are still going 60 miles an hour.
One thing about this whole thing, years ago, we had to pay money from taxpayer money into the court system to make it run, and now we make money. So it's worked out pretty good with the sheriff's deputies.
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, I guess take care.
We want to keep on going to the next agenda item?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yes, please. Yeah.
Good work.
Next item, discuss and consider traffic enforcement priorities during the 2026 road closures. I don't know how much you personally are aware, but County Highway BB, the bridge is gonna be, BB is gonna be shut down while the county replaces that bridge, I believe, July, end of June, July timeframe. Yeah. Also, which is gonna send folks north. So we're talking Baxter Road, Ridge Road. What I'm trying to do is, I wanna have this discussion amongst us to give some direction to provide some more priorities for speed enforcement, because as we force more people who aren't necessarily used to driving those roads, or I just,
At a previous meeting, you already approved that you're gonna put 10-ton limits on Baxter Road and on Ridge Road going south from BB all the way around up off,
yeah,
West Ridge and up.
and West Ridge, yeah.
Are they up already, or? But you got some signs up for the township right now, don't you?
Yeah, Class B. We have all Class B stuff listed right now.
Violets and Violets Road.
I won't put that stuff up till June, middle of June, probably by the 10th of June.
and so, we just, besides the weight limit stuff, I'd like, with the board's permission, that we tell our folks to hit those streets that are gonna become the major thoroughfares for the next. And I don't know, for those who may live closer to those areas, when the county shuts off N Bridge here in the next few weeks to replace it, is the traffic gonna go west to TT to T and then north on N, or is it gonna come through the township and go north before you come across
They were
over?
supposed to have TT open before they closed in. My understanding on it.
Okay,
So it wasn't gonna be all closed at once,
all right,
but
I wasn't clear on that.
yeah, TT was only supposed to be like a month-long process, and then that was gonna be reopened, and they were gonna close N to middle of the end of June northbound, because they got a lot of reconstruction by Amazon there to do, plus the bridge.
So, stay tuned, everyone.
Did you say you're gonna have 20,000 on Ridge?
I'm sorry?
You said you're gonna have a 20,000 limit on Ridge?
From southbound to West Ridge, yeah. 10-ton.
It's like a condo.
He's okay to his driveway.
Huh?
He's okay to his driveway.
For Kevin and Kendall,
Yeah,
yeah, they'll be fine.
so I can't,
I'll talk with them.
how do I get so I gotta go to BB? Well, I can't go to BB. So
What do you haul?
I'm down.
Just for farm use? Yeah, you'll be fine. We'll talk.
It's mainly we're trying to
Just
keep the
cut-
semis from taking.
Cut
that
through
way
people.
around.
We're trying to cut
Yeah,
down, cut
okay.
through people.
But I got
Local
semi
farmers
tools,
stuff,
but
we'll work,
if
we'll
I do
work
my
with
own
you
farm
guys.
stuff, I can.
Yeah, we'll work with you guys.
All right,
We won't cut you off.
Let's see how I am doing, but-
Anything else? Thanks.
Thank you.
You want to do formal action on it or just leave it?
We did, basically did it.
All right, next item, consider awarding the 2026 paving and seal coating bid. Dan, you have the floor.
Yeah, this is probably the closest year we've had, like comparison wise, the numbers were very close. I feel like the hot mix was pretty cut and dry, if you looked over all that and the tonnage and everything. I feel confident going with Payne and Dolan on that one. And then, yeah, Scott's and Barner were very, very similar as well. I guess if you want a tiebreaker, you just go to overall price.
Well, who's gonna get it done the quickest?
They'll both be. We did now, so now you notify and then you schedule, so.
But I mean, some of, with the chip stuff is they'll put the signs up, no parking. They don't show up, they don't show up, they don't show up, they don't show up.
No, we don't. So
What's the
usually
parking sign?
we do the no parking.
Okay.
So it's usually like when we know they're coming to town,
Okay.
then they'll start going up.
Have you used either one of them in the past?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
Yep. Scott's did our stuff last year. Farner's done previous 4 years before that.
Who cleans up the best?
They both do a good job.
You're not gonna give me anything, are you?
No, well, I wish there was a better deciding factor, but it comes down to
Two bids
price.
for each this year. You had more previous years, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had 3 for hot mix before.
They didn't come through with,
Nobody else, no,
nobody else did.
no, we post it, so it's all out there and
I'm sure you did.
notifications and stuff, so. Yeah, Tri-County's bid before. Can't think of the other chip seal company we had years ago, but
Well, based on the numbers that I have, I would move approval of the 2026 hot mix overlay to Payne and Dolan for $336,440. And the chip seal to Scott Construction for $79,254.
Second,
Motion by Christie, second by Mike to approve the 2026 hot mix overlay to Payne and Dolan for $336,440, and the 2026 chip sealing project to Scott Construction for $79,254. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Now for the item you all are here for. Discuss or reconsider September 2nd, 2025 decision to post a no parking zone at the Ridge Road crossing of the Glacial Drumlin Trail. We had,
I think first you have to have a motion, you have to adopt a motion to reconsider. before you do anything else.
I move we reconsider this decision.
I'll second.
motion by Christie, second by Troy, to reconsider the September 2nd, 2025 decision to post no parking signs at the trail on Ridge Road. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Well, Christie and Troy met with, I don't know how many of you folks here, out there at, yes, quite a few, as I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. I'll let you guys.
Well, first we met with the DNR and Dan out there. We talked about field of view and what the problem was, because there's been discussion on what is the safety. And this, one of the safety things is that from one point of view, it's having people dart across the trail, not having a good field of view, or somebody getting hit by a car that's coming through. And the other side is you want to be able to park close to the trail in an alternative location versus parking either in Deerfield or Lake Mills or in Cottage Grove. And parking close to the trail so you can get right out of your car and go to the trail. And both views are valid. But the part is that comes with the fact that when we look at safety, the cars do block the view of the trail. There's also an issue with the brush, and we're going to talk about that as far as clearing that out. But what we came up with is, and there's another point too, that when we were there with the townspeople, we were parked on both sides of the road. And a vehicle had to come in and cross the center line and run basically down the middle of the road in order to get through safely with the people on both sides of the road and the vehicles. We also saw a bicycle shoot through without even looking. Josh, the officer that was here, saw that. So the decision we talked about was to leave the parking signs on the east side of the road and focus parking on the west side. So we would remove one sign that's on the north side and one sign that's on the south side.
The furthest distant signs. from
Yeah,
the trail.
for the signs away. So you may gain maybe one parking spot on the north side or two. On the south side, there'll be quite a stretch, 7 to 9 parking stalls maybe figured, which would be to the other side. And then we were talking about having a good pathway for them to walk in the ditch. Now, what that means, I'm uncertain whether we can add some gravel in there or wood chips or something without impeding, changing the flow of the water.
Yeah, I was thinking crushed asphalt,
Okay,
something like that.
okay. And then there were a few rocks we should take out where they're parking and level that off a little.
By that ped.
So we couldn't, bringing that one sign, taking the one sign out that's to the south helps out a lot. We still have the one sign that's in the middle in place. We're not gonna be able to move that because we have an easement into the field and it's right at the crown. So it made sense to leave that position in place. We'll merely change it with the sign as far as with the arrow going to the north. And it sounded like, and again, I'll ask everyone, they seem to be okay with that. Is everyone still okay with that?
So
So
you're like taking there are no signs on the north side of the trail, correct?
the signs are on the north side of the trail. Mr. Farwell, the one that's on his side.
Yeah.
It's to the north. We could take that far end one out. Okay.
Not
The
on my
ones
side.
On your side, they're staying right where they're at. We're not moving those. And we're not moving the ones that are on the eastern side of the trail, or eastern side of Ridge. That's to the south. All those parkings,
They're gonna stay there all the way to those ag access driveways, Christie, where we talked about, and then you're gonna take down some of the further ones past those driveways.
Furthest one is coming down.
Nobody can park in the bottom, they're all gonna be on top.
correct.
Right,
Past those ag driveways,
Right.
you're gonna let some come down into Wayne's, Dwayne's side, but not mine.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's not gonna be a lot of parking on Dwayne's side because he's got driveways there.
That's a nasty hill there too, I'll just tell you, when you
Yeah.
come over that hill, that's
come
another
over the
nasty
hill.
spot.
That's the bad spot too.
I don't even know why you'd wanna mess with that, to be honest with you, because that hill is just about as bad as the other one.
Yeah.
People are
I
walking.
mean, if they're on
around.
top the other side going that way, that's plain view, everybody can see everything. And like I say, my son-in-law actually pointed out, and I talked to Christy about this, when he sees people parked there, he goes, I never realized it, but I start driving slower because I know there's something there.
Mhm.
He goes in and, otherwise you're coming through that nice area and you don't pay attention. He said, when I see cars over there, it alerts me there's somebody there. So I don't know, you do what you want to do, but to me, that coming over from Kendall's Hill is just about as bad as
Yeah.
that down below.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the first crown and then there's a small
Yeah.
roll and then going down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is bad.
And then, Dwayne's got a couple of those big willow trees that are there too, that are kind of blocking it. There's a couple bushy line fences there and
But we wouldn't be improving the north end. We'd just be doing the south.
Question when you were there. So I went out there and looked at it. So the safety issue is if you're coming out, now this is from the bikers and the walkers perspective.
Yeah.
If you're coming out and there's a car parked on the west side of the road, and you're going east, you've got to go, like you're a kid, you can't run out and get the ball. If cars park on the other side, is that what you're talking about? Or you put them all on one side of the road?
We're gonna put them all on one side of the
So,
road.
but if you, as he said, if you went up that hill towards Kendall's and towards Kevin's.
Yeah.
And there was no parking on the west side of the road,
It's gonna be, oh, correct, no parking. on
no
this.
parking there. When you come out the trail, you've got a clear view to that first traffic lane. The cars are coming.
Right, to the left, to the side.
Right, so that takes care of the hill problem. Take care of the safety problem if cars are parked south of that on the west side.
Yeah.
And then you do the exact opposite on the other side, and you're not having cars parked on both sides of the road at the same spot. So if you're going north,
Yeah.
there's no parking on the east side of the road. That is if you're crossing the trail this way, that first lane of traffic that you cross, there's no obstruction. You can see your line of sight for the drivers as well. There's nobody blocking that. And then you park north on the west side. Does that make sense?
So you're talking
Park on the west side, yes.
parking on the west side on the north. And on the
And no
south-
parking on the east side of the north.
Right, that's correct.
And then the opposite on the other side. So that way, as people are coming out and cars are coming in, that first place where you're going to encounter a car or a bike, there's no parking there. So the line of sight for both the
If
pedestrians.
you're only going the one
Bikes.
way though, if you go in the opposite way, you're gonna run.
Yeah, but you're in the other lane. I mean, you have a whole lane.
So what? So I agree, I think everyone understands on the north side of Ridge Road.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, north side of the trail.
Trail.
What about the south side? So what side are you talking about having parked on the north, I'm sorry, on the east or the west?
On the west side.
On the south,
South of the trail on the west side.
that's correct.
Yep.
That's what we're doing.
Yep, but you're also parking up there where they're talking about that hill as well. So you're gonna have cars that are parked here all on the west side. All parking's on the west side?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so when you're coming from the trail and you're going east.
Yeah.
Cars coming down, there's gonna be cars parked there, people coming out into that first lane of traffic. If you move them to the other side, yes. You're gonna have an open, you're gonna have the east side completely open for everybody.
No.
East side is closed, no parking.
I mean, for vision. No
Yes.
cars parked.
Yeah.
Bikes can go across and everything.
Yep.
But you're still gonna have that issue on the west side where.
West side, you're 200 feet on top of the hill, you're up past the hill.
You can't see any further. Once,
Yeah,
I've got a photo.
and they'll be able to get all the way off the road.
They'll be way off the road when somebody's peeking their head out at the stop sign. Walking east, looking up the hill, they'll be able to see the whole hill. No cars moving, people moving. I took some photos out there, some distances away. There is one sign that's missing on the east side of the trail. It should say stop ahead.
Right,
There isn't any.
it's missing, right.
I found a couple signs. I mowed one side of the trail already. I found some more signs.
Really? Richard
Um,
Wood had.
You have a question?
Thank you. Does the railroad still own the right of way that's now called the bike path?
No.
The railroad released that to the state.
The DNR, yes.
Okay, so how wide is the right of way that the state has purview for?
50 feet.
I don't think it's quite that wide.
And what are the
50
rules
foot.
on the use of that right of way? we haven't addressed that at all.
What?
Well, we're,
We have the jurisdiction of our 66 feet. They don't have any of that.
Okay, we have the jurisdiction of our, thank you very much. That's clear now. So let's look at the town rules as far as ingress egress on a new driveway. Somebody comes along and they want to drop a driveway in that holler, you're going to say no, because the visibility does not meet the town's requirement for an ingress egress. And this is exactly what we have here. So if we're going to be complicit in allowing people to park next to an ingress egress that we would never allow, then we become complicit in a safety issue. So I think you need to look at existing statutes, not just what would be nice. And what you come up with is half a loaf. And half a loaf still keeps us in trouble as far as liability. I think one sign to the south needs to be removed, and we allow for more parking up on the rise to the south from the bike path. Okay, it's another 75 feet of walking. Heck, you're here to exercise anyways. You got another 75 feet.
no, that's, I'm sorry to interrupt. World,
I don't know which picture you want. This is,
go to my, that might be the one right
You're
there.
looking at the north side,
That's
north to
north
south.
side. This one is going north to south.
All right, that's,
Yeah, we're on the north side looking south. I would put the parking up here.
parking goes up to the
More
top of the hill
visibility.
going south.
It's steeper on this side. Do you have a south looking north shot?
I do. It's probably not the one we're gonna want.
No, it's north, looking south.
Did you send more than 3? That's all I.
That's trail looking south.
Okay, so we
That's
got
true, that's-
south looking.
That's
north
looking
view.
south. That's on the east side.
That's
of
the
the
south view there.
I only got 3 pictures.
You only have 3 photos?
You see how much steeper this is here?
Okay, so to your point, what we're going to do, or what we propose to do, parking will be south side of the trail, on the west side of the road. Okay, furthest you can park,
Side.
so right up there, we're
Down in the holler.
Not done.
not,
See, not down in the holler. That's really, okay, okay.
we're not parking down there. Where her cursor is right there, it's all to the south. We'll be moving the furthest sign down on to the south, making about where her cursor is the last sign, and everyone will be able to park down that way because they're the area where they can get the furthest off the road. The other part is when you park on the east side, it's a steeper bank and you can't get off the road far enough. You open your door, it's either swinging back into you, you're gonna blast it out into the road. And that's where I myself had run into a problem where somebody did that. I had been this way to the east further, there wouldn't have been any more door. Been gone. So from the townspeople, when we were sat in there and talked, was there any question that you had then that you misunderstand now that if I didn't?
I think I understand this, but I guess where I get lost is now we're providing a walking path for people. Why is a
We're
town,
not gonna.
we're gonna put down we're gonna put down asphalt for them to get down? Why is it the town's responsibility to provide a parking lot for this situation? They,
They've
Well,
got parking here in town and in.
I guess that would be my only question is why would the town want to take on an expense to do this?
fully, I understand right what you're saying, and that was the other side to this is, what are we doing here? There were people that were choosing to park down here. They found a spot. Became a problem. So we posted the signs on. We compromised in taking one sign down to the south. But it still brings up the point, what are we doing? We're allowing parking on the edge of the road to access the point of the trail that isn't really meant to be. Okay? It wasn't designed by the DNR. It's not set up by the town. Are we promoting it? That's the question.
That's the thing. I already know you're encouraging people to park because you
Yeah.
provided a walking path for them. That'd be my question to you.
Can
That's,
I
that's,
say something here?
Just, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, if you would state your name and address,
Sure,
please.
Sandy Whitney, I live in the town of Cottage Grove. And I think what the town is trying to promote is making America healthy again and allowing people access to walk and hike and stay healthy. More walking.
So if they're dead, they'll be healthier?
I'm not dead. Our sheriff was here and said he had 192 calls for service. None were to Ridge Road
Yet,
Yet.
out of 40 years.
I drive that road at least once or twice a
yeah,
day,
we drive it all the time.
all the time.
I ran statistics back to 2001. There has never been a call to Ridge Road and the trail.
Well, I'm sure there
Or
was for
entrance.
Uphop when,
So
The
I did
bicyclers got
walk
hit.
that, and I feel as somebody who uses the trail, that it's more of an issue of signage and surface marking. There, on the road, there are no signs that even indicate, it says maybe trail crossing, but it's a small sign and you're driving and it kind of evaporates in your vision. So,
Where do you live,
most-
ma'am?
On Ridge Road.
So you have to drive there?
Oh, I do. It's 2.5 miles from my
Okay.
residence, 7 miles to here to the trailhead.
Trailhead?
And a lot of times there's no parking there. You know, you have 1855 and the other bars and parking is limited.
you've got
So
Deerfield.
It
Deerfield's
makes.
always have it.
Deerfield's
Well,
always
that's the thing too, I
empty.
don't want to park behind, by the rail house, another bar, you know, and that's more driving, less walking. How's that making you healthy? So
A gym.
there, you know, you could on the road put the signs that say bike route. So drivers who are not from the area understand there's a trail going by. And then also on the trail for people who don't know the area, put a sign for the bikers or walkers or whoever's madly running out in the road, you know, hill blocks view or blind crest, so they know what they're entering into. But, you know, I've lived here a long
About the
time and
people that
I've
are on the
never
bike trail.
had
So,
heard of
okay, go ahead.
an issue.
So what you're describing to me, we put up additional signage, what would the additional signage for? Other
One,
than-
well,
other than-
twofold. One for motor vehicles for drivers, so they are aware of the trail. It can either say bike route, because it is a.
What we have there now, Dan?
Recreational trail crossing.
You have a
Yeah,
sign that
it's a
says
little yellow
both
sign
sides.
that's far
30
back.
30 inches by 30 inches is the state standard
Yeah,
for 45 miles an hour.
and then on the trail,
That's.
an
That's
indicator.
That's
DNR.
That's
DNR.
DNR.
Oh, well then
But
DNR.
there's a stop sign and you
There's
obviously
a
know.
small
when
little
to
stop
so.
sign that's kind of.
I mean, what do you put more
over.
to stop sign?
Yeah, there's a stop sign.
So,
We can't sign the trail. That's not our jurisdiction.
right, so we have signs there in place for traffic. We have signs there in place for the bicyclist. That's it.
I was on the trail today and I stood there and I watched people who were biking and they all stopped on the road.
Yeah.
Stopped
Times I've
before,
almost taken
they
somebody
stopped
out.
before they crossed the road.
No,
I mean, as a cyclist,
I've
I
even had
know,
old people.
you stop before you cross the road. You go in town, you see little kids biking around, you stop at the corner before you cross the street. And it's the same on the trail.
I've actually seen parents out with their little kids on that bike path. They don't even stop. So how's it gonna make someone feel to kill a little kid?
When we were standing there, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
prior to the meeting with the townspeople, there was a guy that shot across the trail,
Oh, yeah.
didn't look, right? Didn't look left.
don't
and the
care.
And the officer was there also. And then when we were there with the townspeople, the warden stopped a guy. Remember that? If he ran out and grabbed him and asked him where his pass was, he did not stop. He didn't shoot across, but he didn't stop either and look. So that, I don't know what to even say about that. There's nothing, that's up to the trail users. It's their
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean,
And that person
My,
that's
my
stopping
problem
is not
a little bit
like
is
parking
that the
or
people
I
that are
know, and
complaining
that-
are
and
the
that's
ones
a-
that drive there that don't live out there. And I just can't understand why you can't go to the trailhead. It slays me.
So your thought is you don't want to have any parking out there, period.
No.
Well, see, here's the point.
Yeah, people that.
Are we talking about parking now or even accessing the trail at that point? Because that's really kind of what we're
Because
talking
people are
about.
still gonna be going across
That's a
there.
good point too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I did talk to Sheriff Shetloff as well, and he was of the opinion, people are gonna park there. You need to make a place for people to park, because they're gonna park.
No.
But
Start getting
nobody
tickets.
parks on Oak
This is
Park
just a little
Road.
bit here. These are just, you can see the sign, the signage that are here.
If you put a path there, what happens in the winter time? Do you have to shovel the snow?
These are just a few pictures.
Well, see, that's a good question. She just brought up the winter time and stuff with snowmobiles and stuff. I mean,
I mean, do you have to, if they put a path down to get down there, wood chips or whatever,
It's just gonna be a
Graham.
shoulder. It's not gonna be a path.
Yeah.
Just better in the shoulder.
they never
Oh,
shovel. in the
it's
back.
not,
Actually
it's
make
not
no
gonna be in the
walking
ditch
path.
part?
No.
Okay.
Are you gonna wing it in the winter then?
It always gets
More,
winged.
more than it's winged now,
It's
because
10 feet we wing every time, every winter. It's what we do on every road.
Do we stop snowmobile trailers from stopping there and getting their snowmobile off and?
They don't.
I really don't
Well, I don't
see
know if
that
they do or not. I
happening.
don't, they go on the trail. I don't live out there.
It's not. it's
Matt
not-
Hogan from the
Not real
Snowmobile Club was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Matt was online.
That is.
Let me see if he still is.
So I'm also part of our trail club, the Utica North Rockville Trail Club. I have never seen in all the years either my snowmobiling or we're out there grooming the trails. Have ever seen a car parked there with this trailer on it to unload? They go to Norris and do it. Have you
That's a
seen it?
lot different because you
Yeah,
can
they
go
don't.
a lot further on a snowmobile than you can walking. You never walk that stretch of the trail if you start at any of the trailheads.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but if you
wouldn't-
want your exercise, I guess it would be worth walking the
You're not,
extra
you're not
miles.
gonna walk on that trail after the snowmobiles have been on it because it's clear ice.
Oh, they do.
There's,
I do.
well, that was brought up to another point is that many years ago, there was a question of could people walk or use the trail during the snowmobile season? And the warden said yes. Even the DNR said yes.
They do. Yeah, they do.
So
Matt is online if you have questions for him.
Matt, Hogan, you're on the line?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Mm.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
I'm trying.
Thank you. Good. I hear you. What do you got?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I guess some of my points where I also live in the area, I live on 3784 West Jargo Road. I've had multiple incidents as well of people just not stopping, and it's just a hazard. And then having those vehicles parked there obviously reduces the amount of vision you have, both as the rider of a bicycle or as the driver of a vehicle. Listening to the point, well, some of those signs are actually right in the middle of what is our snowmobile trail in the winter. So that will be somewhat of a struggle, especially to the north, through the island belt right away there. Those signs are right in the middle of it and we won't be able to navigate those with our equipment. So I'm not sure what we're going to do there. And no, people don't park their snowmobile trailers down in that area. I've never seen one. I groom, I live in the area. Everybody goes to either Deerfield, the Rod and Gun Club, to Cottage Grove, and leave from the trailhead there, and all the many parking areas that are available to the snowmobile clubs. And then also, I mean, not to be whatever, but the snowmobile club or our trail permits pay for that trail. And I know like people are supposed to have bicycle permits and may or may not, but we are heavily vested and invested in that trail section. We are the ones who brushed it back last winter because the DNR doesn't have the time or the funds. So that's about all I have, unless there's any specific questions.
This is not the Matt, the DNR guy. I was thinking of.
Thanks, Matt. So I'll open up to the board.
Can I add just
Go
one
ahead.
comment? Kevin Shelley, 1764 Highway 1218. I really think that the Glacial Drumlin Trail is a valuable recreational resource here in our community. It adds to the quality of life. You know, I've been blessed as a person who has property, rural property, and I've grown up on farms and in the woods, and I think it's important. It's for people's health, both physical health and mental health, to have recreational opportunities in the outdoors. It also fosters an appreciation for the environment. So it's just a good thing. And I think we should do whatever we can to encourage responsible use of the trail. And if that means, you know, working with the DNR or doing whatever holistically here to try to have the trail be used responsibly. There's going to be bad actors, there always is. And also, I think it's important to provide, you know, safe access as many places as we can. We build houses out in the neighborhoods. We should allow people to access the recreational trail out in the neighborhoods without forcing everybody to drive. We'd have to drive 5 miles one way or the other. And I'm also concerned about people of you know, lesser physical abilities. We had a discussion about a couple people that are elderly. Somebody has a disabled child. I don't know how they're going to deal with arrangement if they're not able to park down right next to the trail at the opening where there's room to park. They go to Cottage Grove, you know, they got it right away. There's a hill. You might not be able to deal with that hill. So I'm a advocate for providing opportunities for outdoor recreation for people. And so I would like to see us retain the opportunity there and not make too many safety trade-offs associated with that either. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when we were talking is we don't regulate the trail. So the use of the trail, that's what the DNR. Steve?
There's grants available, safety wise for trail intersections, and the town should get hold of the DNR. Because of those drops there along the way.
Yeah.
That might be able to be regraded for better safety.
I mean, as far as the road?
Road grants through DNR?
Because.
Yeah, because that's a safety concern. It's, you know, old railroad lines are that way.
Yeah.
But, those hills could be.
I can look into it, but I don't think there's anything as far as
trail safety.
Road reconstruction.
The two DNR gentlemen that were there were pretty tight-lipped about any monies.
They had a lot of funds.
Can I get
DOT.
your name that just said that?
Steve Falter is back there.
Okay, who was it?
Steve Falter.
I'm on the State Trails Council, so I know a little bit about that.
So the part is, we're not closing I should say the townships, it's not our responsibility to manage that trail in a sense of how people cross it. That's what the people have to do. They're supposed to follow the rules. The DNR can sign and, you know, we can put it up there, don't cross, you know, stop here, both ways, whatever it is, but that's on the DNR. Our point is with the parking right now. And we signed it. We obviously had a dispute. We talked about it, and the thing we came up with is parking to the west side of Ridge Road, way out on, well, we're moving one side to the north.
And one side to the south.
Right, but now we're talking about just leaving the one on the north side, leaving that sign up there, and then removing the one to the south.
I thought we were going to remove both.
We were, but it sounded like maybe that wouldn't be a good idea based under the fact that it's a 3-tiered hill. When they're coming over the top of the hill, that sign plays a valuable point on the north.
On the north side.
Yeah.
So there'd be 2 signs on the north side, 2 no parking signs.
There are 3 right there.
Right, I mean, there'd be 3.
Yes.
But only the 2 on the south side.
2 on the south.
And all the signs would stay up on the
East side, yep, to the north and to the
and
south.
to the south.
And then there may be some adjustments we'll have to do for the trail groomer or for the snowmobile trail. when the time comes, because we put those up this spring, so we didn't run into it last year. So does anybody else in the board have any?
I have a question. Yeah, so the DNR maintains the trail.
Yeah.
DNR owns the trailhead parking lot.
In Cottage Grove, but yes, there is a place in Deerfield you can park.
No, that's fine, but they do own the trailhead here in Cottage Grove.
I don't know if it's wholly or if it's in conjunction with the village.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the parking is for DNR only, is it for the trail only?
Public parking.
It's public for anybody.
It's a public lot.
Okay. That's a trailhead.
I think it is actually the villages.
I'm sorry?
Based on something I just saw the other day, somebody was asking about overnight parking. And they asked me, but they were told to ask the town because it was the town's parking lot, and I think the DNR told them that. And I said, it's not the towns, it's the villages, so it's not the DNR's then either. It's the village's parking lot, and so like somebody said, they can, sometimes it might be parked up with
Right.
local restaurant business and stuff too, so.
There's a bar in Deerfield called the Rail House, and parking to the east of that parking lot is actually the DNR. It says owned by the DNR.
Does it?
So, but there's a lot of junk parked there. Nobody's, paid attention to removing that so that people can park there and use the trail. I think this is a good opportunity for somebody to go in there and say something so that they can park in Deerfield too. And that's right off the trail, with no problems with traffic at all.
Yeah, you can get right on the trail right there,
You can get right on the
easily,
trail.
even if you're handicapped.
So I was hoping what would come about this is that there was an agreement to what we just talked about. I won't go through it again. And that people would come away satisfied, but I don't know whether that's gonna happen. I know what you think, what people want, but to park down in the hollow, it's not possible. And to fully remove any access to that trail right there, I don't know if that's possible. But I'm gathering that's what people would want. So.
Any other comments?
Well, if it's truly a safety issue, that's why we walk on the trail and not on this county
Right.
road. So it is a compromise to be able to park where we talked about.
Yep.
And walk. But if nobody's, I don't, it appears if you live there, and I live 1.5 miles away from there. You don't want anybody driving on your road.
Well,
That's what it appears, that's what it sounds like to me.
it-
You don't want me, because you're landowners and you don't want me there.
No.
It's like, if you live by a park, you
That's not it at
gotta,
all.
that's what it sounds
It's
like.
not
to
it at
me.
all.
Yeah,
That's
that's not it at all.
We see it every
No.
day where somebody calls, they saw it when people just jet through that. It's just a danger. zone.
But
It's-
so my parked car is not the cause of somebody speeding through
Correct,
that's not my parked car's fault.
right, it's 2 points.
Yeah.
The only part is parking your car down next to the trail so that both the drivers and the people using the trail can have good eye view.
I understand that.
Okay, good.
I understand that, but people can't see me walking down the road very well either, because I've done it.
That's,
But we've talked about it. I disagree.
That's the flattest ditch in the township. I don't even know how it's called a ditch. It's so flat. It wouldn't carry water if it had to, so you couldn't find a nicer ditch to walk down if you're gonna walk a ditch.
Well, I'll walk it.
okay.
Good. I will do that, but it feels like you guys just don't want us on your land.
It's not a-
It
No,
has
it's
nothing
not
to do with the
land.
land.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
public,
it's for your safety.
it's a public road.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to slow down with my car parked there.
Well, at
further
least we'll
down,
be able
too.
to see
I
us.
mean,
You'll be
if I-
able, people will be able to see it.
Anyone else? Or else? I'm ready to make a motion.
Go ahead.
We will continue to have, I move that we continue to have no parking on the east side, but there will be parking on the west side, and we'll remove the sign that's further south. So there will be 2 signs to the south and 3 signs to the north.
Yes, so
on the
only,
south side.
so the motion is just to remove one sign from
One
the
sign.
parking on the west side.
Correct.
That's on the south
South
side of the
side.
trail.
South side of the trail.
Yeah.
South side of the, yeah, south side of the trail.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yep, southwest side. I
My
don't think the whole
concern-
thing's been clear from the beginning.
We have a motion. Was there a second?
No second yet.
No second? Okay.
Matt Haugen is raising his hand.
Let's wait till we see if we get a second first. Okay. Is there a second to Christie's motion? I'll second it for discussion purposes.
No, he put his hand down.
When he left?
He put his hand down.
Oh, okay.
So your motion doesn't include any,
Oh, hands up again.
If he wants to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, sorry to jump back in again. I guess one of my questions too would be the placement of those. I don't know if there's anything that could be moved or removed in the wintertime. Could they be like temporary posts that are pulled out in the wintertime for a couple of those for access? And that's the only thing I had on that was just that option.
We could put a post in the ground and remove it in the wintertime on the two that are on my property where the trail runs through. Could we do that? Just sink like a 2-inch pipe and then we'll put it in there during the summer and then take it out in the winter?
We can talk about it, maybe that we just need to put another sign in there and split them apart, so we can bring the broom.
So he's talking about, they use
So
the
he's talking about
ditch
for
as
the
a
groomer.
trail.
Yeah.
Well, we could just remove them and put a clear post in there and then in the summertime, we just put them back in there again.
Which side are you using? Your side or the opposite?
They always use my side. They come on.
The east side.
So that way that it wouldn't be there for the groomer.
Yeah, no, I'm.
Just something to consider, I guess. If not, we'll work around it, but
So they're at
Thank
the
you.
right distance off the road and everything. I mean, if it's a temporary sign, then we gotta put in temporary posts. We don't have temporary posts, and we have permanent posts, because when we do no parking, it's permanent.
I'll just let snowmobile club come through my yard. You go behind the sign.
That's what I was thinking. If you allow them, you can get private permission to go on private property.
Yeah, they come right through my yard. I don't care.
And then they can put their signs on the post if they want to, just to mark the edges.
Okay, that'd be nice.
You know what I mean? You allow them to use their post, so.
if Kirk's willing to do that, we'll work through that in fall. So appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm afraid if you take it off, we have nice winter days, you're gonna get parkers.
Yeah.
That's fine. They can come through my yard.
Yeah,
Yep, makes sense.
you're only moving over 4 feet.
So, discussion, vote forward.
Currently, the way things are situated, the ground, it's wide shoulder and to a casual bypass, somebody going past the area, it looks like a wide shoulder for some reason. I do have a concern that if we start improving that area,
Yeah.
that we're basically saying, park here, park here, park here. Opening up wider already our potential liability in this matter. I mean, I feel we have, if you'll pardon, our butts are hanging out a little bit from the town's perspective because of the fact we're acknowledging the fact that we're gonna maybe allow somebody to park there versus parking the whole thing from stem to stern and nobody parks there. And that way, in the event, if somebody gets hurt, not necessarily talking about the bikers per se, but somebody who parked on a road, like Troy said, opens their door into traffic and that kind of thing, that it's going to be on them. Well, it doesn't take, I don't believe, too smart of an attorney to say, well, the town provided the spot for us to park. So our liability is going to be greater. I'm not assigning a percentage at all over having everything no parking.
How far are you gonna go though? I mean, no matter how far you put the sign, somebody's gonna park at the next.
If somebody, okay, I'm not suggesting that, Kim, okay? But I'm just saying, if we put the signs a mile away from the trailhead, if people are gonna walk a mile to get to the trailhead, why wouldn't you start somewhere else then? I'm not suggesting that in the least here. All I'm doing is I'm trying to wrestle with the fact personally here about what I perceive as a greater potential, whether it's this much or this much liability for the township by inviting people to park. And, that's about as, and then I realize that we're trying to mitigate the danger for everybody involved here by offering a somewhat of a compromise, but, I guess I'll defer to the rest of the board to see what they want to do.
I
mean,
agree.
it's not,
With you on no further improvements to any of the ditch or anything.
You want to leave all the signs there.
I said, no improvements to try to create access. That's not the town's responsibility. And if someone's walking on some trail that we put up there and falls down, or they bike up that trail or whatever, the liability, we've already got the signs up. I wasn't on the board when this was voted, but it was unanimous to put all the signs up.
Yeah.
Right.
It was all, and there was hearings, there was all kinds of opportunity for people to speak. That we're revisiting it, okay, that's fine, we can do that. But I don't know what's changed, except you're hearing some different people that maybe weren't at the first meeting. I love the trail, I use the trail as well. I don't park there.
So you're not.
I park in Cottage Grove where I thought was a DNR parking lot. I've never had a problem where I couldn't park there. I go by there all the time during the day. It's open. I imagine the weekends are different. But I access the trail the way it was intended. The DNR never intended any of the access at any of the intersections. Somehow that just happened to become, maybe with some of our help at some point, a parking area. But it was never intended to be that. Deerfield has, there's no intersections in Deerfield and any of their town roads that have, they all have no parking.
Yeah, no parking
No
because
parking on every single one.
I talked with the Litchfield on there, and said why they did it, and the DNR recommended it.
And the DMR recommends that we don't have parking there as well.
Right.
You can park on the west side at Dvorak Road, so you know. There's only no parking sign on the east side.
Yeah, it's pretty steep though.
Yeah, you
Bark
park
Road's
on
very
that side,
small.
you're in the
I guess-
ditch.
Yeah.
Depends on where it's
No parking.
on our side of the trail, it's actually pretty flat.
I guess what I would add to the mix here is that if the board chooses to pass the motion that Christie and Troy have put forth, I would not recommend any improvements to anything out there at all whatsoever.
And we're moving a sign, that's all.
How many signs?
One sign.
That was a question I was gonna have, if you just left it alone and bring that one sign back. Because we've been doing that for 35, 40 years.
Well, there's,
Without the improvement situation to get rid of the liability aspect that Chairman Anders is speaking on.
So the one
Because the
sign,
view from there,
right,
you can see
from the west side,
from the southwest.
the southwest most sign.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's good
I
parking.
mean, I think people can definitely get through that. It'd be nice, but I understand, I'm in an insurance business and I get what you're saying about the liability situation.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
The other point is, are we doing this for 10 people to park there, or is there 200 that park there off and on, or are we doing this for a very small minority group that is here, or is there another 60 people that park out there? I doubt it.
what,
I was their chance.
that came up in the meeting, about 9 cars have been seen parked
Yeah.
there all at one time. So, but they're interchanging,
Could be,
some going, some
yeah.
going, so.
I have had several calls about it, mine,
About what?
wanting us to take some of the signs down. And when I said we have a proposal for a compromise, Appreciative of that.
I think we want to do the right thing for all of society.
We thought we did that the first time we had the meeting and approved it until people started to complain again that didn't come to those meetings.
Well, those, nobody knew about, I mean, unless they're watching every town board agenda, they would not have known about those until they got there and they're like, where did the no parking signs come from? So that's.
Yeah, but I didn't know about this meeting either
Well, I
until
told you.
you
yeah.
know me Friday.
I told
and
you,
told
but
me.
I couldn't, I
But
didn't
you
know
guys
who was
discussed
using-
it that,
I didn't know
that
who
week
was
or
using
the
the
week
trails,
before?
so I
You just-
couldn't possibly notify individually people who use the trails the first time, because I don't know who they
and
are.
I understand that.
Now I
I'm
know
just-
who you guys were because you were here last time, so I did notify you, but it's understandable that the trail users that aren't watching every single agenda that comes out wouldn't have been at the first meetings.
But the other people, they were looking at everything and then they showed up to the meeting. Cause they look at everything, right?
No, these
Well, how did they
people-
show up the
these-
first meeting?
The first meeting was a phone call or an email asking for no parking signs. Those
But
were,
we had a meeting and we decided something.
and that was because of people who requested the no parking signs, so I knew who they were, so they were invited.
But it was on the internet, correct?
Yeah, but do you watch every agenda?
Oh, hell yeah.
You better, that better
Yeah,
correct
you-
answer.
You know,
job.
I just- I don't think- There's no, I can't speak for him, but I don't think there's anybody on the board that doesn't agree with you that we want people to have access to whatever's out there. I'm sorry?
Nothing. It doesn't seem like it, but.
Well, I'm saying that I do. Okay, I'll tell you that I do.
Right.
I like the trail. I want access to it. It would be a lot easier where I live if I parked there to go in on the trail. But I agree with people, it's dangerous. So if you wanted to, and I did go out there today again to look just because, and I agree that the sign may be one too far. I think you said that last time. We went one too far. And I could see moving that sign, taking that out and having parking up there, because I don't think that impacts safety. I do think that the rest of the area does impact safety.
So can I make one note, just so you, so everybody knows, so state of Wisconsin DOT regulates distance, site distance and sign placement, right? So that zone that's there now, travel 45 miles an hour with the site distance you have from the top of the hill, that's recommended distance. That's why the signs are where they at right now. I didn't just willy-nilly go out there and go, yep, I'm put one here, one here, one here. No, I actually looked it up and put them at the correct distance for what's calculated at that speed. And that's not for your car or my car, that's for 18-wheeler to stop from 45 to 0.
Gotcha.
So the sign you put up at the crest of the hill, is that enough sight distance?
That's 200 feet from the trail crossing.
Okay, right. So that's ample distance for,
No,
it's not.
328. That's why the last one's at
But
400
that
feet.
last sign they're talking about taking down, you're going away from the trail.
That is going away from the trail, correct? It's not going to it.
Right.
But the zone is the zone, right? So it's an even zone. That's why I did it.
Okay, no, that's understandable.
So it's 400 feet, which is over by, wasn't quite 60 feet, what a recommended stop distance is. But you're still, that's still not correct because that's a flat surface, right?
You got a downhill grade.
And we have a belly that you can't see. So it is shorter than it should be anyway, but
With a load on it would make it worse.
it's anything. And
Well, then
45
you
mile an
definitely
hour.
don't want to move that sign on the. move it to the south.
I'm just saying that's why I place the signs where they are located right now.
Yeah, makes sense. I agree with.
So the sign on the south of the trail on the west side of the road.
That's what we're talking about.
It would be okay to remove that one, yes. But the northbound one, you would want to leave that one there.
But it would even be okay to remove the second one, wouldn't it? If it's.
But what if,
No, we're not,
For that
because that's line of sight. Having the vehicles.
You might want that sign there just so you can see it from.
There's also,
We want that.
there was the other reason was their egress into that field.
I can,
On the west side of the road, south of the trail, there's that egress into that field. No reason to leave that sign there, so nobody parks. So we have a motion
We have a
on,
motion.
Can you read the motion?
If we have a motion, call the question.
The motion was to remove the farthest south sign on the west side and leave all the other signs.
And the addition to that is Dan is not going to make any other improvements.
With no improvements, right?
No improvement.
Thank you for that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Wait, who was the second?
No.
That's right, I'm sorry, yes. I seconded for discussion.
Okay, good, good.
It's been so long, it seems like hours. No, I'm just.
Just so everyone knows. Police department is gonna now have these little pocket tickets. They can park on there for parking or whatever. They're gonna tear it off, stick it in the windshield of anybody parking in the wrong location. You, whomever uses those, that area that we just said, yeah, you can park there. I'll word it this way, the area that we've now removed a sign from, if you're gonna park there, you make sure you're well off the road so you don't get a ticket. Because it's gotta factor in your door swinging into the lane of traffic. Just get off the road, please.
Do we know how far we can go off the road? Because where the right of way ends and the private property starts.
That road is pretty much centered down where the right and left hand right of ways are.
You can climb the bank almost to the field before you're on the property.
From the center line.
You know what the state wants to do with Ridge Road by 35, right?
4 lanes.
But the officers will be patrolling it, so. That's all I got.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight. Next item is discussion on the near-term, 1 year, and short-term 2 to 5 year goals for the Koshkonong Creek.
Sit here for you.
You can stay for days.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep. It's afterwards. 50 feet.
Oh, I gotta get out of here.
If we leave it one side, that's probably smart.
It's easy. I have a meeting.
Oh, no. Yeah, yep. We haven't got out there yet. The guy should be mowing up there this week. I'll get out.
I do.
Goes up there mowing.
Because I got a few things coming this week. but-
Oh, yeah, right.
No, dig it.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna.
So,
stone this week.
I also have Steve Fulter here from Capital Water Trail, so if you have questions for him, feel free to ask. I'll be as brief as I can. Oh, and these came after my other presentation, so I'm gonna give one to you. This is the formal book. Did you get one?
No, I didn't. I didn't know if it was the
That's,
same or not.
that's the sedimentation issue. This is the reason that took.
This is what we spent our money on?
Wow. That was the main project that I referred to in the other previous meeting. That's what took a year to publish. So sorry about that, but it wasn't my bad. So I'd like to go over with you our near-term goals and our short-term goals. First of all, I'd like to attack government, and state statute says that you guys have some authority to empower engagement on this thing. Oh, this is kind of like an AI version of that state statute. And you can do specify things at the annual meeting or a special town meeting. And so since we're past April, it would have to be a special town meeting if we wanted to talk about something now. My whole point about this is designating a township watershed master, that topic I came up with at last meeting. For the township area within the Koshkonong Creek watershed. I'm only talking about the Koshkonong Creek watershed that's in the town. Similar perhaps, like to the weed commissioner. What I'm envisioning, this would be the start of an interjurisdictional watershed-wide commission helping regulate and maintain the creek, much like what I've heard too as James Score was starting in 1994. He had 15 communities trying to get those aligned. And that's pretty much in one of the reports the kids talked about in the Alliance, is doing our own commission type thing, instead of relying on a change in state law. Our state law is so antiquated, and as you guys know, the probability of that changing right now is slim to remote. The other really hot topic is dredging, the specific areas, the area from Oak Creek, Oak Park Road to Dvorak Road. That had the most red marks on that study, if you remember on that slide. And I am meeting with John Reamer tomorrow, so I couldn't have that meeting ahead of time, obviously, so I apologize for that, but I'll give you an update on that thing. And, he was, in my brief conversation with him, it was kind of like the priorities, like further down the line, so my whole point is to move that up on his list. On the backside, the short-term goals, obviously, is to dredge areas marked from the Dvorak Road to Baxter Road. It's in the township. I hope the District 8 or the Drainage Board is on top of that whole issue with the new bridge. Is it gonna be a culvert or a bridge at BB that they're replacing?
I haven't been able to figure it out yet. You
Oh.
know?
I think it's gonna be just like by your place.
Yeah, the big bridge, a big culvert, a big white culvert. So when they dewatered that, my place, it was an ideal opportune time to go upstream and clean that creek out. So I hope the Drainage Board is doing that.
I think, Wayne stopped in and asked me about that, and he was going to contact them.
You what?
Wayne was gonna maybe contact
The Drainage Board?
Drainage Board about that, because he came in and asked me about that.
I made a comment to them last year that that would be a great opportunity. Somebody shot back about engineering study and all that. That's more talk. Two of the next items are really important and what we're gonna really have to tackle. And that's cleaning up one side of the ditch bank within the township. It's important to get the nuisance trees out of there and eventually the cottonwoods. Those cottonwoods are really a disaster. They are all dying practically. The University Alliance was suggesting the north sides of the creek and the east sides of the creek be cleared because then the south sides and the west sides would provide shade for the creek flow as much as possible to help try and keep it cooler as much as you could. Obviously, it's not going to be the best thing in the world, but at least it would provide more shade. Now, that's also going to be dependent on location of current dredge material, where they deposited those spoils when they clean out the ditch or the creek, and the whatever is going to be easier access for the machinery. So we may have exceptions to that north side and east side of the ditches. So, certain places, like across from you, it might be ideal for rings because it's already cleared mostly.
Right, yeah.
So that would be a really good opportunity. Now, this is the one that I really like. I'm suggesting that the township purchase the residential lot at Deerfield Road and Dvorak Road. There's I believe, a buildable lot there, at least has a ability. I don't know how well it would perk personally. To buy that lot, sell off the RDU so you can help pay for that purchase. And install a parking area for a boat ramp and for access to the bike trail. And that could be cleared with, because it's right on the town line. I mean, the house 2 doors down is split by the 2 townships, Luke Gallions. So I think it's in the township. Luke's is mainly
Who is it?
Luke Gallion. It used to be Miller's, Dale Miller's old place.
Oh, yeah, it is, that lot is split between
Yeah.
the 2 townships.
So the lot I'm talking about is right at the corner of Dvorak and Deerfield Roads, across from Tony, who's a DNR employee on the east side of the Dvorak Road. This would be the southeast corner, the Dvorak and
Southwest of the trail.
southeast of the trail.
That has an RDU?
I believe it does.
Oh, really? The old Nearland property?
No, it's across the street. Not Nearland.
We must have bought one from somebody then.
Corner of Deerfield and Dvorak.
Yeah, but you'd have to buy the,
Why wouldn't it have one?
huh?
Why wouldn't it have one?
Why
Depends
would they?
depends upon how it, that
Divide
might
it
tell
up,
from
yeah.
the
Right.
farm.
That-
actual farm.
So my point is, if
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has an RDU, you can buy the lot, sell the RDU. If it doesn't have an RDU, you're not gonna buy it for very expensive. So who cares?
Okay, why would the town spend money to buy a lot to put a boat ramp and trail access when you're gonna be asking us to figure out a way to give you money to clean out the whole creek?
Because there's gonna be monies available in a grant to put in the parking lot and the trail and the boat ramp.
Maybe, I mean, it's,
Well, I think there'd be pretty good opportunity to do that.
but again, what's the
I'm
priority?
offering
What's the
a-
priority? All of our town residents who are flooded out right now because of everything that's happening around here, or satisfying a few folks who like to kayak and, you know, that kind of stuff.
I think the people that like to kayak are the ones that are gonna get us the grants and the money.
Yes.
Just
What's
like-
that?
Just like for the bike.
Yeah.
So the people that with the kayak, well, I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
The people that, they know where to get the money. They already have the organizations, whether it's the Clean Lakes Alliance or whatever it is. So I know maybe we put the cart before the horse, but I agree that if there was something recreational
This
about
could be a-
Koshkonong Creek,
This could be. a
people would
really cool-
care. If it's just Farm Creek, nobody cares.
Yeah.
If
Well,
everything was,
some people do.
if everything up north of that was
Right.
squared away, I
My
might,
son Prairie would do it.
might be having a little bit
Steve,
different.
I'm offering ideas here. I'm not gonna,
No, and I
There's
appreciate you
way-
trying to think outside the box,
this is way outside the box.
but
And it's not gonna be right away. But this could be in 2 to 5 years. Who knows? As an idea.
all right, after I was thinking about this a lot after you came to the plan commission and, you know, gave your,
The town board.
no.
It's west. It's on
That's
the
town
west
board.
side.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, I see all the time now, so. But yeah.
South of the
Well,
trail.
it seems like it's, yeah, it's like every other meeting. Here's Dave, you know? But where is their money?
Here's Deerfield.
That's gonna be a little point because Sunbury's gonna have to come to the table. If Dane County, that's why I'm meeting with Dane County tomorrow. I think most of this drainage clean out,
This is
the
near-
dredging should be by the county.
The county is too busy spending money buying millions of dollars worth of recreational land to give away.
Yeah.
And they're so far in
And-
debt right now, it's been on TV 10 times.
So if we
They
don't
have no
start,
money.
if we don't start demanding, it's never gonna happen. So let's start demanding. And I'm saying that comes from you too. Not just me.
But again,
I'm not asking for you guys for money. Have I said anything?
well, no, well,
Someone has a comment or some questions?
How does the, I'm Kathy Christoph on Up Off Road.
Hey.
How does this, what we're talking about in the governance part, work together with the drainage board?
there is no drainage.
In our section, there's no drainage. There's parts in the.
Well, there
parts-
is in
there's-
ours, we just got a.
You are in the very end of one.
Yep.
Yep, you're at the very end of one. Yep,
So how
Which
does-
one? I'm sorry, Kathy, which one are you in?
number.
It had like
I think
rattlesnake
it's
or
50.
something, but they named it something else lately.
I think it's
And we're
50.
in it because we just had to pay money and I asked for
I did
what
too.
the money was for. And they said that there was a strategic plan. The person who created it is since deceased. But they have now estimated the cost of the strategic plan. So those of us along the section of Koshkonong Creek where I am, several of us got assessed by the drainage board. And so what would a watershed master would have to work with the drainage board and whatever they're planning to do, which is up toward Sun Prairie is.
It would all be integrated. Within.
I know,
with-
I
with-
mean, well, it would
That
have
would
to
be
be
the goal,
integrated.
is that the watershed master would be communicating and coordinating all that stuff within the whole watershed. Whether it's in the drainage district or not. That would be the goal.
Does Deerfield have one yet?
I haven't talked to them yet. That's in June.
Are they, is Manisha, is that part of the,
Monashaw?
yeah, is that part of the whole watershed?
No, that's
That's their own
the Monashaw watershed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not in Deerfield.
Okay,
Well, I know,
so-
I just did the other correct, yeah.
So what are you looking at for a goal right now today?
I wanna get that.
Going to Sun Prairie or what, the Dane County you're saying, or?
My main goal is to get the thing dredged by whatever means possible. And it's probably gonna be a suction prop deal because there's no area to run an excavator right now because none of the ditch banks are cleared to run an excavator.
Yeah,
So
but
that should be a
if,
pump.
where she lives, if that's not done there, it's not much good down the way into our area, right? If Sun Prairie doesn't do the same thing,
they've already done it mostly.
They're pretty well done.
Districts 8 and 9 have been done already, 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Been done down. to
And that's why we're flooding out quicker.
Yeah, well, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I have a call into Tom Feeth, who Sun Prairie sponsored this with the towns, and I haven't been able to talk to him yet. So I'm starting that discussion.
1 second, Kathy.
The other thing too is the group that did the study of the creek did not recommend dredging. Those weren't their first recommendations for a healthy creek. And so it seems to me we should look at the primary recommendations, and the costs were a lot lower with those.
We're the primary.
They were more along the lines of taking the snags out of the creek, making sure you had proper vegetation. They did have some things to do with the sun and the shade, but they looked at, what are the fish? How is it flowing? That sort of thing. And they gave several different levels of involvement that you could have.
Yep. And what Dave's talking about now is proposing to stop the aggression of the flooding, I'll put it that way. It's egregious. I think that's the term to use. So if he can come in and dredge out a little bit I shouldn't use the word term dredge, remove sludge.
Sludge.
There it is. Suck it out, put it out, back out, away from the creek bank. That's the first step. Next step would be to remove vegetation, large trees. Leaving a certain area, we'd probably come up 20 feet. Where the riparian rights are.
Dane County has 20 feet riparian rights,
Right.
both sides.
So you're gonna remove one side, both sides 20 feet, plus on one side, you'll remove all of it. Goes back to the south side would stay to shade some of the
Until we figure out.
Well, I understand what dredging is. It was done many years ago and the evidence is still there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that chiming into the conversation about who's going to pay what, that is a very expensive option. And
it's where you're gonna come up with the funding.
Right.
And I don't think that there's any one place it should come from. It should come from a few different places.
Right.
What does that mean? Tell me what you mean.
For a few different places?
Yeah.
Okay, so one is now Sun Prairie's dredged out their area. That's great. That was their responsibility, but they're still adding.
3 years ago.
Yeah. Right, but they're still adding water to it, affecting from their point all the way down to the Kashanan.
Absolutely.
And that volume is never gonna change.
Right.
Other than get bigger.
It'll get bigger.
Yep.
So wouldn't it be nice if they would contribute a little bit of money to help pull that water down to the lake? To help us, the people that is flooding out, and I think it's more like you, the people of the township.
Grace, we've been talking about that for
That's
20
my whole
years.
point.
20 years.
I mean,
No, I understand
That's
you.
the whole point why I'm here. It's
Yeah.
all been talked.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever done anything. And now it's gotta get dredged. Hands down, gotta get dredged. And I'm in there for the long term, 50-year
So-
deal.
So if it's all been dredged up there, what's the speed of the water gonna be down here if we do the same thing?
Not gonna change the speed per se of the,
Well-
will help the flow.
Control the volume.
Give it more depth in.
Control the volume.
Well, no, but wait, back up. If you dredge in the township and down the Oak Park Road, it's gonna allow the land to dry out. And so it will help more flood control. Land will not be a flood control if it's already wet and
Yeah.
soggy. So it's just not gonna work. The sediment's 2 feet down at least. All the farmers who I interviewed many years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, all said the same thing, that their tile lines were 18 inches below the water line. Now they're about 18 inches above the water line. So we know it's been down there further in the past. It was allowed a long time ago for farming activity. And now nobody can do that in that. I'll just go through all the names and nobody can do what they want to do with that land that was once available.
What I'd like to see is try to come up with the money first,
And what kind of commitment you're gonna get out of the landowners? I gotta hear, they gotta put some skin in the game.
Well, I want all the landowners in the
Well, that's what I'm
watershed,
saying.
all the landowners in the watershed.
I'm in.
if that's the case, all the landowners in the watershed.
But how do you do it?
Including
Voluntarily,
those,
or do you
including
do it?
those in the village of Cottage Grove.
Yeah.
Including those in the township, who's ever in the watershed should contribute, just like a drainage district would, if they were working 100%.
Well, the village is doing a hearing on that Ridge Road development. That's gonna just more impermeable surface area that's gonna end up going in the creek.
Ridge Road as far as.
Ridge Road,
West
well,
Ridge.
Taylor and Ridge.
Taylor and Ridge out there?
Yeah. That's one of, I'm going to them eventually.
Yeah.
I gotta do my first steps. I don't have all the answers.
No,
but
I know.
I know, but going there and asking, I'm afraid it's gonna fall on deaf ears more than not.
I'm gonna keep
because-
coming back. You see me at meetings, you can see me more.
My point is that we've got to get something, like you said, something's gotta get done. You're talking, well, I'll just keep going back and talk to people. Well, that doesn't seem to have worked now.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, I just,
The other thing.
I like your idea.
what else are we gonna do? I gotta
No,
start something.
I understand that, but,
What if the directly affected landowners start clearing stuff on their own?
We do.
not everybody, I'm
No,
sure.
not everybody down.
But
this way.
let me back up. On the backside, clearing the ditch bank, we have to have a town policy that this is what we have to do.
Why does it
And-
have to
and
be
a
a
directive.
policy? Aren't you as a landowner able to do what you want with your land next to that creek?
Let me give that in two parts. Most of the landowners don't even have a inkling of what needs to be done. And now it's gotten so bad that on Saturday, I'm going with my equipment to help Gene, who is the picture of progress, Gene Wagner. He's been the best landowner of all the townships anywhere of keeping his creek clean. Now he can't because there's so much big trees in the creek. I showed
Okay.
pictures of it. So it's a two-part deal. Some don't have any clue, some really want to do it and can't. And I can't be doing it all myself as
No,
a
but-
volunteer or having Steve. Steve's been instrumental in doing this. He's been fantastic. And because he wants to help clear for the kayaks and the canoes. That's where the money's gonna come from.
I agree.
When Dan Kelly said he was in Deerfield, he was not in favor of improving it for the kayakers and canoes. Well, where do you think the money's gonna come from?
I guess, one of the things, kind of shooting from the hip here, if you had an idea, property by property by property, what the cost is going to be for their portion
For clearing?
for clearing.
I didn't know what you were referring to.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew what I was talking about. For clearing, okay?
Yeah.
A dredging, I mean, that's way beyond 99% of the people's,
Yeah.
situation. But if people started, number one, making the effort, taking the initiative, rather than just standing here, I can't do it, give me money, you do it for me. This has been building up forever and ever and
Yeah.
ever. And
66
quite
years.
frankly, it wasn't this bad a long time ago. People, and again, 2020 hindsight, would
Well-
have kept up with it.
We didn't have the development out there.
No, but I'm just saying, when the tree fell in, get the tree out,
Yeah.
instead of just letting it lay there.
Well, I remember when we had prisoners do it.
What's that?
We had prisoners.
Yeah.
But the issue is, it's not just trees falling anymore. Is when we get the rain situations, the banks go up. Now the more trees go, it's not just a dead tree that falls over. The
No, I
bank just keeps getting
understand,
this bigger and bigger
Yeah.
and bigger,
So part of the deal.
and you can't keep up. I can do it every year and I'll never keep up.
There's trees out there you couldn't touch.
And plus you can't put equipment to it.
I think that if we all,
Oh, yeah,
all five of us are
absolutely.
hand in hand, we could not go around some of the trees.
But it's gotta come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Or
It does, you're
it's
right.
gonna come down sometime.
It does, you're right, absolutely, it has to be done. And doing the ditches, or I'm not sorry, doing ditches, doing the
Ditch banks.
ditch banks, clearing those off. We gotta go at least 20 feet probably, because the way the water's going now. Yeah, then they don't fall in, like you said, but
And it
Still
gives you
somewhere.
access to do the maintenance. And then we put.
And once
grass
you
on
get
top of
stuff
it.
out of the creek itself,
So if you
find
could,
out what your flow rate, how much improvement you're gonna get with just getting all of the debris out of the water.
we've been working on that for 10 years.
Thank you very much and let us know when you're done, kind of thing. I mean, as far as, I know,
But
it-
now we need to work on the dredging. If
but what about, okay, you
that's
dredge
gotta-
up here, it doesn't change things down here at all.
spots will help. Doing,
So you're gonna go free flow, backup, free flow, backup?
I don't know.
Am I, meaning, if you're dredging here, the water starts flowing, okay, you're gonna stop, so things are going to back up.
Well, number one, the dredging is not gonna be all done at one time. I'm not an advocate of that. Hit the high spots when you can. Now, we know that's from about Fred or June's property down to Oak Park Road. That's the
Okay.
worst where Bounds is, absolutely the worst, okay? And that's gonna allow a lot of the water to drain down once you clear that. Then we'll find the other high spots and go and hit those.
Are these where the creek turns? Is that where the high spots are?
Doesn't really matter. It's,
Well, I mean, what, if it's a straight run, I just question why.
well, Bounds is a straight run and that's the worst because they allowed their trees to stay in the creek.
Oh, okay, I got you now.
So what would you?
So the first thing is getting the trees out.
That helps.
Yeah.
Well, but is that the first thing? Or are we gonna do 5 or 6 things, try to do them all at the same time? That's my point.
We've done a lot of work getting the trees out.
I know you have.
No, no,
but I-
no,
we're
no,
ta- You want,
hear
you
me
want to
out.
talk to us right now from going forward.
Hear me out. It's several things, but not all at one time because you can't afford it. But keeping the trees out, that's part of my main assumption here is that keep the trees out,
Yeah.
get the trees out. Then let's start talking and getting formal action on the ditch bank, getting that cleared, one side, not both, one side. And then allowing access for the machinery for other work. Because if you're gonna allow the machinery in there, then you have swing room and you can use excavators instead of the pumping, which would be a lot cheaper. What's his name? Farmer down in Deerfield, Vern, or who was it?
Vince
Vince.
Hyman.
Hyman, yeah. Got his permit to do it, and he did 1.4 miles. He used his machine, his long stick excavator, cost him about $37,000 to do that.
Did DNR give him 50%?
No, he had to do it himself.
He didn't apply for the grant, do that?
I don't, what grants for?
Then look them
DNR?
all up. There's 2 or 3 of them here,
For.
clearing out creeks.
Well,
They'll
then.
pay up to
We need a
50%.
watershed master to look those up.
Yeah, right. He volunteered.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of grants out there, just like apparently there is for roads too.
Well, that's my whole point is starting to act on this stuff.
So going back to this, kind of back to the beginning. Steve, you correct me
Actually,
if I'm
quite a
wrong. We've been working on, I've been helping out the crew, pulling out a lot of logs and stick, whatever it may be, out of the creek to help keep the flow going. We even just got down to where Bounds Arena was. We get that and then suck out some of the muck there. We would definitely would increase flow just in that, I don't know,
It's about 1,800 feet.
1,800 feet worth of creek line. And that doesn't take much to do. But the big thing is not so much the money, it's one point, but it's just getting people behind to say, hey, this needs to get done. And we would learn a lot, in my opinion, by sucking out that area versus dredging, because we'd see how things would change with the flow.
Definitely.
So.
The other thing that I would have is that all of the landowners upstream from where you're talking, or in the area that you're talking about, okay? I wonder out loud why they aren't here with their hand on your shoulder, following you wherever you're going, because they have a vested interest in it because of a lack of use of their land and all the other
That's why they
associated.
were here last meeting.
What's that?
That's why they were here last meeting.
But I guess I didn't hear anything from them at what they're personally, "Oh, I will do X, or I will do Y." They were just, yes, it was good show, support for you, but we need more than that, I
Well,
just.
If we know that we're gonna get action from the town, then.
But again, what do you want us to do? Other than to go and ask for places where there may or may not be money. Going to the county right now, I don't think is a good idea because of the fact they're broke. Sun Prairie's broke. And
If you
county's
found
broke, but
some
they
stuff
keep
to
getting
go
money.
to, let's go to them.
Right.
what's that?
They're broke,
Let's
but they
at
keep
least
getting money.
see if we can get money or whatever.
I haven't
I think that's a start, really, but
I haven't been being a bit advocate of what's been out there in the past. There might be something new, but I doubt it. A lot
Another,
of strings on them, Mike.
well, we got a guy that writes grants, don't we? Road grants and all that. We've used a company that's written some grants for us, haven't we?
Our engineer does, yeah,
Yeah, okay, whatever.
in conjunction with me.
Yeah, what the hell?
Chrissy.
another thought for money. Have you considered approaching Rutabaga? The owner, I mean, that's where people are buying the kayaks that they're wanting to use on the Kashkanan. What about inviting him to help invest in?
Well, if we know that everybody's serious, I'll go to anybody if we think we can get it.
I've read that he is generous.
Yep, well, good.
So
We'll go to him, no problem.
He's got his hands in the air watershed.
That's what, the county's spending millions of dollars on the
Air
air.
watershed.
My whole point of my meeting tomorrow is to change your priorities.
good luck.
Yep. But I need to know the people are behind this effort.
Well, we're behind us, obviously, but
I don't know what else I can do.
Kathy has a comment.
I just wanted to respond to your question, Steve, about why
Thank
aren't the
you.
other people here? I mean, I'm not a farmer. I have a part of the creek going through my property.
Present company excluded. You are.
She's been assessed already.
No, I
She's been
want to
assessed
tell, no,
already.
I want to tell you, I, someone, and Dave knows this because I'm in somewhat in conflict with the idea of dredging, because I would like a healthy creek with fish, with flow, with kayaking, but that doesn't necessarily mean dredging. To me, dredging is what we see, these ditches all over the place, and some of them are actually being purposely closed because the people realize they're supposed to be marsh. And that to me is more, the environmental thing, a nice, clean creek that can support the kayaks. I'm not against the farming aspect, but maybe it's not supposed to be dry. And maybe dredging isn't the right way to go. So there are,
Well-
I think, other alternatives too, when you talk about watershed and what are your goals?
It might be the long term, but the people are not being rewarded for their, if you want to convert the land to a marshing area, it's not gonna work that well because it's been flooded. It's not gonna be a floodplain. Floodplains work with dry ground to start with, not flooded ground.
Well, look at the Schultz farm on Taylor
Yeah.
Street.
You
They
mean,
intentionally blocked up a whole bunch of their drainage ditches to convert it to marshland. It's beautiful. It's right on the trail.
Yeah, it's already marshland. They just converted it to more whole water and it was their
Well,
choice
they were raising crops on it.
years ago. Yep.
Yeah,
And I
I
heard
mean, when I
stories.
lived there, they were raising crops.
I actually cut hay there, both sides of the railroad tracks.
But did they get any grants? I can't remember. You can go online and look.
He used, they made scrapes.
Yep.
They had to agree to the scrapes and then
Permanently easement.
The permanent easement, so he got money for that.
Yeah.
So-
well, do you agree with the UW study? What we had done or?
They are wishful thinking that they think that you don't have to dredge. You do have to dredge. If you're gonna restore the farmland that we have in our township.
But
to
you're,
restore-
yeah, so you disagree with their plan?
That's not their plan.
Well, whose plan is it?
They simply came up with recommendations.
Well, they got it some way. They just didn't go, hey, let's do this.
Well, the theory is they studied the creek to see what's wrong with it. They proved that it's too shallow. Okay, it's blocked. That's what the sedimentation is, not sludge, it's sediment. Okay, and then here's some ideas to consider, but dredging is the only way to get the creek down to where it started. Back in the sixties, when it was cleaned then, and it was done probably in the 1900s when it was created. Easily.
There's a part of the creek that's never been dredged, which is gorgeous.
Where's that?
It's in that little town of Rockdale or something.
Way down.
Way down there.
Yeah.
Here by the golf course and that, they were never dredged either.
Oh, yeah, and up by the golf course, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a drop by the golf course. There's a
Yeah,
severe drop.
there's rapids.
Yeah, right.
But one of the things that not to lose sight of is that this all could, it may not be this way. Our creeks, our lands may not wouldn't be this way if there wasn't so much water artificially dumped through means of either sanitary sewer or storm sewer. Runoff being directly driven there. And sometime there could have been a time when a city could have come in and said, we're gonna allocate this area to hold up the water. But why would you do that when you can put homes there? And that's when we could easily conveniently dump it right into the creek.
You know what the Newmans that are calling the new development around me?
No.
What? Cache Valley.
Let's see.
Cache Valley.
Kashkonong Valley,
Because it's
Cache
in
Valley.
Kashkonong Valley, so I imagine they're thinking some of that water might go that way.
Yeah.
It will. It will.
Well, yeah, where else is it gonna go?
Yeah.
250 homes.
At some point in time, I think, Kathy, you're gonna run into a problem. I don't know what your elevations are there, but
She's high enough on her house, but
We're high.
in that turn, if there was, she's saved by the flat ground that we have in the township, that 0.4%
the flats.
drop.
I'm saved by the marshes on both sides of me. I think they're beautiful. And they do what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, they take the water when there's too much and they let it go when,
Is that what the marsh's job is?
pardon?
I don't know if that's necessarily the marsh's job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's what a marsh is for.
It should take in water when there's excess
Yeah.
and it should bleed it back off. The problem is just by clogging a ditch doesn't make it a
Right, yeah.
movable.
Well, the marsh
It's not
east,
natural yet, 'cause it's blocked.
the marsh east of Ridge Road, between Ridge and Dvorak, that thing, I've seen it almost up to the trail. I mean, just imagine how much water's in there. Now, I can't see anything. You know, there's just the creek running through and no water otherwise.
I guess one of the things too, before you, or in conjunction with, not before.
Yeah.
Is picking an area, a length, whatever. All right, it's gonna cost X amount of dollars to clear the trees out, okay? We have X amount of dollar commitment from the property owners in that area. And then go hunting for money, because if you're going there saying, I need money, well, how much do you need? Well, how much are you getting from the people, the landowners? Well, I don't know, or no, I don't have a commitment. I mean, it's, is it $1 million? Is it $500,000? Is it $2 million? I'm
Yeah,
exaggerating.
I know. As an
But,
example.
it's nice to know, people like numbers, you know?
Cause you have the checkbook.
Well, that, and it's just the idea, well, okay, say you need $350,000, well, I can give you 100. You know, or, you know, the landowners,
Or what's the time frame? But how do you
yeah,
measure
you know
that?
what I'm
So,
saying, I
yeah.
just,
I know what you're saying.
so,
I want to go see some of the landowners anyway and see if they're gonna be interested in volunteering which side of the creek. Because if they say that, then okay, how much are both sides willing to put up for some of the clearing?
well, that's just it, and if, you know, if you have landowners that are not willing to contribute, bypass them and let the chips fall where they may. You know, I mean, you have to go ahead and take responsibility for your land.
But if you also have the blockage there, then we have to deal with that, like the Bounds. Because Bounds and Jordans don't want you to dredge there. They don't want to have because they wanted the trees. So we have to work around that whole issue. That just increases costs like crazy.
But they're in Deerfield though, right?
That's in Deerfield.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well, if the trees come down, don't they take, wouldn't they want to take them out of there then?
They would,
Well, you're saying they want the trees. Well,
They want them left alone.
they want them left alone.
yeah, but if they go in the water, they want them left alone?
Well,
If they fall over into the
in the
water,
it's a good point. I don't know.
well, I
would assume-
presume they want the big trees, you know, sitting up like this, not in the middle of the water.
I think that's a good assumption. I'd like the trees out.
Yeah.
I think you should.
He's taken some of our own trees out. They're very difficult, you know. It's dangerous doing it.
It's funny because you actually have a blockage that I've been wanting to get out for 3 years. There's a
Not
tree,
not
in your corner right there that needs to come out.
so I
So
guess
you're-
Dave, go ahead.
No, to your point about having the people participate, you know, it's their land. There's always a big scare that if you touch anything along the water edge, you know, the DNR will be on you or something like that.
This,
But what I'm saying is that that's the good reason for having either Steve or our watershed master that we were gonna do, that can come in and step in and say, no, you're okay to do what you need to do. Go ahead and do it. That was my only point, is to have somebody there to back the people in the town. But it doesn't have.
I guess, again, why don't people take the initiative themselves instead of just I
Worrying
hate to-
about what.
complaining about the
to-
problem?
Mhm.
I have, other than Dave here, there isn't a whole lot of people willing to step up and here's a check, here's some labor, I have this kind of equipment, I have this or whatever. I mean,
Right,
you
so
know,
my
to me,
field, in
to
my
me, I'm
field
getting the
alone,
impression right now that
Yeah.
this truly is a one-man show by Dave from the standpoint of, he's looking out for everybody. Don't get me wrong there, but I'm just saying, it's a one-man show. And,
Pretty much heads.
well, okay, and
Because I don't want to have people like Gene coming in here or Sam West saying that they have a problem and nothing ever happens. Now's the time to act. They've come in multiple times.
but Steve, you're right though, you know, because you keep your property up, tree goes down, you cut it up and get rid of it. I
yes,
spend probably 2,500 a year cutting up trees that come down in storms on my property. I mean, I got a lot of trees, but I want it to look good still, you
is it a
know?
case of this? Well, if I don't
Yeah.
look at it, I don't have to worry about
Well,
it.
it's sure a lot easier to cut when I have a tree fall on the land than when I have a tree fall in the creek. I can do the one on my land by myself. I don't even call anybody.
Well, sure.
I can't get the one on the creek by myself. Can't even get to it.
Would be
The other
nice.
side of the creek is too wet, to get equipment in. My side's got trees and just overgrown.
What you're saying is people, there is no plan.
And I'm willing to
To
write a
hire
check
somebody to do
today.
it or whatever. And I'm not saying it's good to hire somebody, but there's gotta be people that have done this for years.
If they have a firm direction that's got to get done,
Yeah.
like the town is saying, we got to clear the one side, no ifs, ands or buts. And this is what it's going to take. If you can't do it, then we're going to have to handle something.
Well,
some
we
other
gotta
way.
come up with ordinances and regulations and, you know.
Correct,
for
I
a
mean,
select group of people in the township. Not for everybody, you know, which there's other fees that people pay, you know,
Yeah.
that everybody doesn't pay. So there's a lot to it in the beginning, you know, how we would do
If
this.
people, when they buy those houses, know that they've got to keep that area clean, then they are aware of that. 'Cause it's
then
never been
what
enforced.
about doing what you hate? Doing an assessment like in a drainage district?
But if they know that if they buy that property and they know they have to keep it clean on the ditch bank, then it's their responsibility. And if they don't, then they get assessed for doing it.
Okay, and then that kind of goes back onto the drainage district that you don't want to have.
For a lot of different reasons. Yeah, because all you get is bills for attorneys on the drainage districts. They don't have the action. The wherewithal to act quicker.
Well, they sure got it done, didn't they? Up in Sun Prairie, they must have a lot of lawyers and stuff, but they got it dredged.
it was expensive.
Then we know it's gonna be expensive.
And
here.
I guess I look at up in Columbia County and Sauk County and the areas that I kind of grew up in and see drainage, active drainage districts up there going and, you know, stuff's getting done. People are writing checks. You know, they're not happy, but
Steve, they're not in Dane County.
Well, she's
I
writing
wrote-
checks.
I wrote checks to the.
They're not in Dane
The
County.
drainage ditch guys and I
They're
did
not-
nothing.
I wrote a
Things
check.
things
I
happen
wrote
better
what
in
you're
other
gonna do
counties
for
than
me.
they do in Dane County.
And, okay, okay, I'm stupid on this. Why is Dane County different? Because drainage districts are state statute,
Right, right.
not Dane County ordinance.
Because you really want me to say.
No, that's fine. It just,
You talk to the drainage guys, they'll say the same thing. The guys who actually do the drainage work, drainage companies, it's a lot easier to get stuff done in other counties.
and why does the county have to get involved? If you're following state statute?
Well, it's just hard to.
I don't know.
It's just hard to get stuff done down here. That's all
We'll
it
let it
is.
go with that.
Yep, let it go with that. I don't want to say anything.
I guess I would like to leave Dave with how much is it, pick an area, how much is it gonna cost? How much you're gonna buy in, you're gonna get from your landowners? And then let us know. And we'll see, and let us know, please, how your visit with the county goes tomorrow.
But do consider this watershed master concept, that's all it is.
I think we are considering this and we will consider it. Are you also planning to get everyone to get their commitment in writing? So you have it on paper, in writing.
The guy who did it last in 1960, there's a bunch of landowners who did it, the last dredge. It cost $6,000 from Oak Park Road to just near my place, Klein's property. He went around, collected all the money from all the landowners for that. So we'd want to get a commitment in writing, yeah.
Good. That's what.
I want to get the commitment for the clearing, that, yeah, you have access to our land and you can clear this stuff, or I'll pay so much to get it done. That's probably a good alternative. You give us access to the ground, or you guys get it done for us.
If you have that in writing, then you can go to these other places and then they're going to respond to you. But without that in writing, I can't imagine. But you have our support.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. You're good. You bet.
Next item, consider approving Jerry Myler to continue to serve on the plan commission until his replacement is available. No, just,
Carrie Robbins has informed us that she's not available till the July meeting.
and with what we have on the agendas and stuff, I would rather we
Jerry
have,
did say he would serve until we got a replacement, and I talked to him
okay.
recently, and he said he would keep going until she can take over.
Sounds good to me.
Do you need a motion or just, I move that we ask Jerry Myler to continue serving on the plan commission. His replacement is available.
Second. Oh, geez, second, we're good.
Motion is second to approve Jerry Myler to continue his service on the plan commission until his replacement is available. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item, consider attendees for the Dane County Towns Association annual meeting at Westport day after tomorrow.
I'm actually interested also.
Okay.
After tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, great.
We have board of review tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yep.
How many people can go?
As many as we want.
What day is it? Or what is that?
Wednesday?
20th is when?
Wednesday.
Wednesday this week.
I got it down to my calendar.
Okay,
So
What's that?
I got it down to my calendar to go.
okay, that's fine.
What time you want to meet here?
Let's see, well, because it's the annual meeting, there's gonna be a lot of folks there. And especially you to kind of get to know and just to see what everything's all about and everything. I'd like to be there 6:35 to 6:40. So back up, what, 25 minutes to get there from here, give or take? So I don't know. 6:10 Works for me. Does that work?
Well, you were going all whole down the township.
Thank you.
So you probably should have a motion for 4 attendings so you can get per diems then.
Yep.
I so move for attendees for Dane County Towns Association meeting.
I will second.
Motion and a second to approve the up to 4 town supervisors to attend the DCTA meeting on Wednesday. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works.
No road right away permits or approved anyway. We've got a couple, but nothing's been approved. Public Works, we've been busy, a lot of stuff. We purchased the basketball hoop for Nundall Park that we're gonna add. We had talked about that, approving that park's budget last year or for this year, so we got that. That just came in, so we gotta get that installed soon. Also the basketball court at Meadow Grove will get resurfaced. That's gonna happen here soon. That's gonna get concrete instead of asphalt. We're gonna try that and see if it lasts longer. But that's all gonna come out of the road budget, just like we had talked about, so. And then, yeah, mowing and stuff going on. We'll probably start ditch mowing soon with the Fireman's Festival shortly approaching. We usually start that a couple weeks before that, so. Grass is growing fast.
And wet.
Other than that, I don't have much.
Clerk Treasurer's update.
Lots and lots of roofing permits, lots and lots and lots.
What's that?
Lots and lots and lots of roofing permits.
Yeah.
Pretty much been a part-time job in itself.
Did get a peddler though.
We had a guy come by,
You had one
Linda was
peddler?
home and said he was doing resurfacing driveways for the Cherokee Nation.
Okay.
All the donations were gonna go to the Cherokee. I said, Linda, did you tell them they needed a permit? And she said, I didn't know that. So he's doing our driveway. No.
I don't really have anything else, I don't think.
Okay. Board reports and communications. Thursday, May 21st. You might as well make it a full week if you want. Anyway, there's a community listening session. Public is invited to join us, share questions, observations, and concerns about the new Amazon distribution facility at TTNN. The purpose is to listen, document what's shared, and forward it to the appropriate agencies. There is no speculation, no decision-making, constructive conversation, and respectful listening. It's at 6 to 8 p.m. at the Sun Prairie Public Library. Why Sun Prairie?
Who's putting that on?
Yeah, who's put it on? Isn't it already?
Unknown. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a disclaimer. I missed it here. Residents organized event not affiliated with any government, municipal body, or project-related team. How can they have facts and? So anyway.
I'm confused, isn't it? Amazon?
That is, what time is it? But that's
6 to
crazy.
8 on Thursday evening.
Deer Grove EMS.
Yes. Darn. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have gone anyway. I'm not either.
That's bizarre.
But I would be remiss in case anybody out there in TV
Thank you.
land would want to attend. I think everybody got this information from state DOT that they have finally finished the planning portion of the improvements on 3990 going north from 12 and 18 all the way to 12 and 16 at the county line up north of the Dells.
67 miles.
Holy cow.
Yes,
That is the longest stretch of 3 interstate highways together in the country.
Yep.
Is it?
It is.
yeah.
Fun fact I learned on the
We're
MPO.
gonna do sections.
Well, they named it 39, then they made it 3.
So
They've already got some of them
How many
done.
decades is that gonna take?
Long time. Next 20 years. That's what they said.
I don't have anything else myself.
I got, we've got our Memorial Day celebration on Saturday at 10 o'clock, and Melissa Radcliffe is gonna be our speaker
Where's your event going to be held?
at the, right here,
Oh, okay.
Town Hall. So everybody's invited to be there.
What day is this next Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday. It's usually good. The Boy Scouts will do the flags and we'll sit, have our gong, and every time the cemetery is listed, we read off all the names of all the people in the cemeteries in Cottage Grove. And that's a nice thing. We'll lay about almost probably close to 3,000, or not 2,000 flags at all the cemeteries.
Oh, wow.
We do that too, and so it's
In Grove.
too much, but it's, you gotta do it, so, yeah,
2,000 flags in Grove alone.
yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, there's people buried all over the world,
Yeah.
you know, are from here, and so I think she comes in usually to every ceremony we ever have had that I remember, actually, and we don't disagree militarily, you know, not politically, but she's there. So she's gonna actually give a little talk, and that's great, so. And also one other thing, I'm running a trip on the 27th to a Brewer game. That's a Wednesday day game. And we're leaving right at Flint Hall, that area there. And that's on the 27th. If anybody's interested, it's $95. That's a bus and food and drinks and all that, and a ticket to the game.
Nice.
If anybody, anybody would like to go, contact me.
Okay.
And you'll know half the people on the bus, at least, so. Other than that, we did get some flags, and Kim, we don't have the bill, that was 2 we had at home that I gave you, because we hadn't got the flags in.
Oh, I see.
So once we get the other 4,
All right,
we'll get you a bill.
yep.
Okay. And you did get the 3x5 up
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't open it up in the back, out of the package, so
Oh,
it looked the same size as the other one.
Yeah, that was from just our American Legion,
Okay.
so
That's
What
it.
time's the bus
That's it
leave
for
for the
now.
trip?
9.
Okay.
And we'll set up when we get there and have brats and hamburger, hot dogs and salads and stuff, so
Nice.
that's it. No emergency government meeting this, because she never ended up going to any anyway, so. I'm just kidding, that's a joke.
Ooh. Dagger. Committee reports. We haven't had anything. No. And the magic words.
Well, let me just say one thing,
Yes.
As was mentioned, to have all these people here for the, how the trail should be set up and stuff, that's great. They're just to disagree, that's different than just having a couple of people sit in the back room, or, that come here about the water, Ashkana Creek, You're right, if there'd have been 25, 30 people here, just think we probably could have accomplished a lot more today, listening to other people's opinions, and the one person talk is not.
I mean, I have to give,
I don't get it.
give Dave a lot of credit for
Oh, I do too.
taking an initiative. I really do. But he's got to get his army behind him and stuff. So when he goes to the county or the DNR or whomever he's going to do it, you know, to have, you know, what everybody can see is the support.
Yeah, we gotta have a roadmap. We're starting with this issue to be completed by this time. The next issue completed by this time. And just a couple of years at least, it's gonna take to do this.
Sure.
At least. And, we get the talking going, an article in the paper, you know, just, we can do this in all the papers. And, just the idea is there so people understand that this is gonna be done. We've talked about this since I've been on the board, you know, and it's just, we had the prisoners do it one time and, that was
They
20
did a
years
good
ago.
job.
probably.
Too bad it wasn't that's not an alternative these days.
Yeah.
But
And anyway, he's worked hard on this stuff, but, you know, a lot of people that aren't on the crick would give a crap less, you know.
very true.
Are you ready for a motion?
I certainly am.
No, I got something else. Get the hell out of here.
I move we adjourn.
Seconds.
Motion by Christie, second by Fogger to adjourn. No debate. All those in favor say aye.
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 And we'll be back here tomorrow.
For 2 hours. Wisconsin Forest Landowner Grant Program.